Hi there everyone, Rob here with today's Friday edition of Western Pacific Weather. Well, early morning here. We are continuing to watch a few tropical areas out here in the Western Pacific today. Also some cool down expected across much of the north. Actually here on the satellite imagery, I'm showing you this because you can see all these clouds descending out of Korea here. Moving down towards the south, that is one of the first indications of a possibility of a cold surge setting up here, and that's really going to start dropping the temperatures down. Actually, a relatively cool day across Tokyo here on my way home from work. I actually had to put on a jacket as the storm system, the remnant of Malixi, continues to push off there towards the north. It's no longer being warned on, actually. It's cruising at about 60 kilometers an hour now, just off the screen here in the last several frames. This is actually going back about 72 hours, but also we're watching the tropics because we still have Kami just here towards the west of the Philippines, and this has really been the main topic. And also a little bit later on the update, we're going to talk about this area off here around Guam. But let's zoom in on Kami here and talk about this storm system, now a tropical storm according to the Japan Meteorological Agency. And that really stands to be correct here. Actually, much of the center of circulation is completely exposed right now, and what that means is that those higher cumulonimbus cloud tops, as you can see here, are all just off there towards the western periphery. If you look closely, it actually looks like a very well-developed tropical system, but the fact is, all these clouds in here are just right around cumulus clouds. Now, still some inflow coming in from the west, even down there towards Visayas. You definitely have been seeing some strong thunderstorm activity, but this is really due to that enhancement of the southwest monsoon. You have the intertropical convergence zone down here towards the south, fueling lots of rain showers, and sadly, this has been the cause of 6 deaths. 3 of them due to drowning associated with rip currents, but another 3 also due to an overturned vessel. Now, a bunch of people still got plucked out of the water with that vessel, but 3 people sadly did drown. If you want to read the full in-depth story on that, please do click the link into the description down below this video if you're watching on the website or on YouTube. There's all that information there. But now the storm system, as far as the forecast, it's starting to slowly drift off towards the west, and that is some really good news because that should bring some much fairer conditions across the Philippines as it starts to do just that. But on the other hand, all that rough weather is going to be shifting over towards Vietnam. Around Da Nang, you could be seeing a landfalling tropical system going through the weekend. Now, it should remain relatively light, but the rainfall amounts is going to be some of the worst effects from this storm system. These are some of the rainfall totals over the past 24 hours alone. Now, plenty of the rainfall has been occurring over the ocean, so some good news there, but some of these totals kicking upwards, as we can see here, up about 100 to 200 millimeters. Occurring over the South China Sea. Still seeing that inflow, so some thunderstorm activity is continuing to occur down towards the South Sea, even around Luzon. You could be seeing some rough weather as well, but already, as you can see here, already seeing some thunderstorm activity occurring across Vietnam, Laos, and Cambodia. And according toward the track, it does look like those conditions will continue to deteriorate through the work week and then into the week. And this is the latest from the Japan Meteorological Agency, expecting a high pressure ridge to start to push in from the north. That should make the storm system get a move on here, moving off and towards Saturday, and then Sunday being overland or just towards the south of Da Nang, right around that area. It's going to be bringing all this heavy precipitation. Flooding and landslides is definitely going to be a high risk across much of this area as the storm pushes onshore. But the good news, once again, as it does so, I only expect winds actually to be sustained around 40 to 50 knots. Still could bring some damage, but storm surge really doesn't seem like it's going to be a significant problem. Once again, the rainfall, flooding, is going to still linger across much of this area. Let's take a look at JTWC's outlook on Tropical Storm Kami. And the good news, they are also on a line basically with the same intensity and outlook that JMA does have on the storm moving off there towards the west. Now, what I found kind of funny is that at this point right here, they even marked it on their intensity here, 15 knots, gusting to 25 knots. Once again, the JTWC, I think what they're just trying to show here is that no, it is not going to be a big wind event. Once again, though, the rain is going to be a major issue. And taking a look at the model outlook, this is just GFS, but it also confirms that storm will be going towards the west. But see all of that green there? That is just indicating those heavy amounts of precipitation. Meanwhile, look off towards Guam. We're going to talk about that in a little bit, but this is just showing what the GFS model outlook is indicating at this time with this system possibly moving off there towards the west, becoming a tropical storm. definitely could be the next tropical system to form up here in the Western Pacific, but at least at this time it's still long range out. So what that means is stuff very well could change going through the coming days. But let's take a look at no gaps, also showing the storm go off there towards the west, staying relatively weak. That is Kami down here towards the south. But one thing I do want to point out with this model, they don't really develop up that tropical system around Guam as significantly as GFS. So with that said, not just these two models, but many of the other models also differing on the exact development of this possible system there. So definitely going to continue to watch that through the coming days. But at least for the time being, across the Philippines, still expect some strong monsoonal flow south of Luzon and also in towards Indochina Peninsula. And just once again, taking a look at the surface analysis out here. Now, this is from Thailand, and they also indicate that monsoonal flow across Indochina Peninsula with that impending tropical system that definitely is going to increase the rains. Also, extending off there towards the east, they have that low pressure area around Guam marked on the map. And meanwhile, the remnants of Malexic, well, still a very strong and potent storm system, but it continues to charge off there towards the northeast, about 55 kilometers an hour, so really racing there. One thing I also do want to mention on this map is all of this right here. Well, that is a very strong high pressure area, and it is poking its head in from the north. Actually, I should mark it like that. High pressure poking its head from the north, and that is going to bring some very cold air as it starts to pull down. And actually, all these wind barbs you can see arrayed across much of the South China Sea. Very strong winds, about 20 to 25 knots. East China, excuse me. That is going to be bringing a lot of cold air advection. So cooler temperatures expected across much of this area. Tropical season starting to wind down. But one thing that we always mention is that tropics are always active out here in the Western Pacific, especially down here towards the South China Sea, the Philippine Sea, extending all across this area. So expect this to remain active throughout the next several months. But as far as the north, with that high building in, it's going to start to churn these systems. And with that said, if this one does develop, that high will act like a barrier and basically just keep it towards the southeast and just kind of skirt off there towards the west. So at this time, if it does develop, it will push off there and just churn northeast, leaving much of Japan alone. But thanks for watching, everybody. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, please post them in the comment box below. Also, a reminder, still doing that Western Pacific weather meet and greet in Manila on November 10th, so come and join and check that out, RSVP, on our Facebook page. You can also follow me on Facebook at Robert Speta, or on Twitter at Robert Speta as well, and same with the website. So please stay safe out there, though, everybody. Have a great day, and thanks for watching.